Con 7. I'm sitting here with KnockBase's Lance Vernon. Catch me up, Lance. What are we looking at here in 2024, KnockBase?
So for one, before we get into KnockBase, Door-to-Door Con 7, every year it seems to just get better and better.
Yeah.
This is now our 4th year, my 4th year coming, 3rd year as a sponsor.
Oh, nice.
And it's just, I've known Sam now for 4.5 years, and it's just cool to see the development of this. So
that's cool.
Hopefully if you're listening, hopefully you are here. If you're listening and you are not here, make sure that you get the early bird special on the tickets.
Yes.
And make sure you get here because this is where the magic happens.
Awesome. No, that's cool. What's the craziest thing you've seen here at Door-to-Door Con?
Craziest thing I've seen? Well, I saw somebody in a werewolf suit, full head to toe, the full beard, the whole nine, doing some TikToks. I don't know if that's the craziest thing, but that definitely caught my eye because I wasn't,
it's been a lot of fun.
On me. Yeah.
This is, I came to Door-to-Door Con 1. Okay, that was 7 years ago. And to see where it's come to now and the community support of Door-to-Door has been a lot of fun. Been able to network and meet some incredible people like yourself.
Yep.
We actually didn't meet today. We've met prior to today with some of the other events outside of Door-to-Door Con. So anyway, it's a really great opportunity for networking, getting to know people, not just on a professional level, but a personal level.
Absolutely.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially when everyone comes from all over and different states, different industries. It's different when you are speaking to somebody on a phone call or a Zoom call, when you're able to break bread, sit down, shake hands, and get into the room and really just feed off the energy in this. I always encourage, if you have sales teams, bring them.
Yes.
The content that they're going to get in breakout rooms is just amazing.
Yeah. Did you go listen to Lance Armstrong? He just spoke.
I mean, look.
It's pretty cool.
I said, typically I come to these events and I'm the number one Lance there is in the building because there's really no other Lances.
Number 2.
Now I'm number 2 Lance in the building, so
it's good.
It's incredible.
That's awesome,
Definitely
man.
Enjoyed it.
That's really cool. I do want to talk about KnockBase. You're doing some pretty cool stuff with that. Talk about that a little bit. For those that don't know, I guess start with what is KnockBase?
Okay, so KnockBase is powered by Sunbase. KnockBase is our first standalone product. And I'll kind of take it back a section, which is Sunbase is an all-in-one platform that can work whether it's in solar or roofing. And when I say all-in-one platform, I mean it's about 10 different softwares in one. So a lot of times when I speak to people when we're at these events, I always ask the question, I say, hey, you know how when you're running your solar company, you're running your roofing company, you have to use anywhere from bare minimum 3 pieces of software, sometimes upwards of 8 pieces of software to run your company. And everyone nods ahead and kind of gives a look because they know that every piece of software is going to cost some extra costs and overhead. So what we've done is we have the ability to have everything from A all the way to Z, from HR and onboarding to a canvassing tool to sales CRM, to a proposal tool, design tool that's all proprietary in-house, as well as a project management tool, commission automation, custom forms, a client portal that after the install, people can sync in their SolarEdge, their AP systems, their Enphase, and get all the monitoring from it. So it's an all-in-one solution. What KnockBase is, though, is our first standalone product, which is regardless if you're going to leverage the entire platform or other areas, this is a product that you can leverage just for canvassing regardless of industry. It's a gamified knocking tool by far and away, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm a little biased when I say this, but not taking it from me, just from the response we get, it's the best UI, user experience, the look and feel of it. It genuinely feels like you're playing Call of Duty, but you're on the doors.
Oh, okay. Talk a little bit about that, because I know, from being somebody who's in the industry and has knocked doors in every stage, whether it was an entry-level rep or a rep that has plateaued, looking to take my own game to the next level, to somebody who's recruited both small and large teams. I know the power that comes in competition and what that does to drive reps when money doesn't. It doesn't motivate anymore. You've already made a lot of money at times. Talk a little bit about how does that look, let's say as an entry-level rep, how do you use KnockBase to get a little bit more out of
I
that
love
rep?
that. So for one, I actually love what you said even initially, when you're recruiting reps and you're recruiting sales teams.
Yeah.
when you're an EPC or you're a leader, you're somebody that is bringing on somebody, if you want them to succeed, you really need to give them the best. You need to invest in the best tools, and it's a representation of your brand, right? So if you're able to give them great tools, you're setting them up for more success long term, right?
Right.
So if somebody comes on, we've done some things that's pretty unique, pretty different, which helps derive some goals that they're going to be able to easily target regarding their experience level. So if somebody comes in and they're a rookie, they've never knocked doors, or maybe they're not in the industry that you're in, there's a certain law of average that they're going to select. So it's going to say, I'm a rookie, or I'm a professional, I'm an all-star, I'm an expert.
Okay.
They're going to be able to select the amount of income they're looking to generate based on the amount per deal, depending on that area, that product, and it's going to reverse engineer those things and help give them goals that they're going to see while they're canvassing to give them direction, you know? So without goals, you're going to go out there and you're not going to have targets, right? Imagine playing a basketball game or a football game and there's no scoreboard.
Right.
You're not going to, if you don't know how much time's left in the day, you're not going to be, you know, shooting for the targets that you need to.
A quote that comes to mind is, you know, you can't win if you don't keep score, right?
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, you're talking to somebody who's been in the industry almost 20 years. When I started, it was all about pen and paper.
Yep.
Like literally, that was the hack.
Street cheats.
Yeah, it was like, no more mental game, guys. Here's the hack. Here's a pen and a paper. Go down the road. Right, and to an extent, that was pretty effective for that time that we were in. However, because of the lack of visibility in numbers and data, it was easy to hide and say, hey, I knocked a lot, and some guys even would say, hey, I got X amount of sales when they really didn't.
Yep.
And nowadays with like KnockBase, it's hard. It's really hard to do
hide.
that. You get exposed pretty easily, right?
You know, and that brings out the best in people, right? We all have that
accountability.
The accountability, the ego part of us that, you know, obviously ego's the enemy. There's plenty of books on that, but there's a part of it too that brings out the best in you. If you're in an environment where you are going in there to be the best, competition is not so much of trying to push down the people that are below you, but what it's meant to do is, if I'm going against you, I'm going to bring the best out of you, and you're going to bring the best out of me.
Right.
And that, you know, rising tides raises all ships, low tide lowers all ships.
Right.
So over time, you're going to find that the standards in the company will go up. They'll rise to the occasion if there's something there that they're shooting for. You know, and a lot of times, you know, you're undershooting your goals. You're a lot of times if it's like, oh, I'm going to go out there, people play it too comfortable. The second that you put something that's grand in front of you, that makes you stretch, right? Stretch goals, you end up raising your minimums. You end up raising your standards. So what you used to be your high becomes your average, right? And that's really what competition's about, and you know, that's what we built into the platform.
No, that's really cool. How customizable is it? I mean, are we talking only solar? Is that the only industry this works for?
No, so it's very customizable. You know, generally the areas that we focused on has been solar and roofing. You know, one thing that makes us a little unique is that we also brought in more back end into the tool. So in most canvassing tools, you have pins, right?
Yeah.
That's all front end from when you're knocking, and it's going to fire into a CRM, or it is a CRM, which we do have workflow automation built into our tool that can send out text or email confirmations and all sorts of different things. But we also have something that is able to help organize tasks and projects that are back there. So if there's a rework that needs to be done, you can have that inside the tool and organize into your schedule. You can say, hey, I need to go there at this time, and click a button to bring you to the route. You know, so you'll see instead of pins, they're flags, right? And they look different. But we have something where a couple other differences would be homeowner data is all loaded in. There's no upcharge on any of that stuff. We also have something where we're inside of Google's new Project Sunroof. We're in their pilot program.
Holy smokes, yeah.
You can click a button and see the radiance of the sun hours that is hitting a home. So if you're a rookie, if you're somebody that's not into solar, and this is more of a solar specific, you know, I know if that home is good for solar or if it's not good for solar. So I don't have to put up bogus appointments that waste a closer's time. That's really not something that should have been on a schedule.
Oh, that's
so we
cool.
have some stuff that's really tailored to the industries that we're in, which is why we've generally focus on those, but it's any tool. And we have forms that's built into it too. So if you want to, take a picture of the electric bill or take pictures of the house, the roof, the this, the that, you can build out custom forms all within the appointment setting functionality of it. Scheduler tool, round robin, setter closer models. There's a lot of customizations.
So you can do it even on a personal level all the way to a team level.
Yep.
And you can separate to maybe a region level.
Absolutely.
So it's super good. That's really important. Obviously in our industry, you've got some people that moonlight as a door-to-door agent, right? Maybe it's a supplement. You have other people that go out only for a summer. You've got people that maybe have done the summer thing, now they want to go year-round. And then start a business. That seems like the natural progression, at least from what I've seen. And then from there, they're highly successful, and it grows into something much bigger, more special, right? Yep. And you're telling me, so with KnockBase, it checks all the boxes. Those type of companies, all of the above, whether you're an entry-level sales rep, all the way to massive corporation would benefit from it.
Absolutely, and we even have the ability to have an LMS where if you want to take somebody through training videos or things that you want to have.
What's an LMS?
Appreciate that question there. For those, LMS is a learning management system.
Okay, cool.
Right? So essentially that's the ability to have training videos if somebody's brand new and you want to bring them through, something to get somebody up to speed on selling a product or getting good at door knocking. They absolutely can jump in there and get a little bit of a head start.
How would a company utilize that learning management system that you're talking about? What are ways to utilize that to maximize to squeeze all the juice out of KnockBase?
So there's nothing like hands-on training, all right? I'm not going to say the LMS is something that's going to make your reps, without putting any work into them into the field, all of a sudden be a rock star. But what it will do is it's going to create a baseline knowledge of how you want them to show up. Also, if there's an LMS there and you have training videos, you'll see the ones that want it versus the ones that don't, because those are going to be the individuals that's watched the videos before you showed up on their first day. You'll know immediately this person wants it versus the guy that shows up possibly late and not watch the videos. Yeah, I'll watch it later, and pushes it off. That's not the individual that's that hungry versus the guy that's going to watch it multiple times over.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think sometimes those training videos that you put in there, you get people that are really eager and they want that training. That enthusiasm dies off really quick every day that goes on, right? If you have the ability to sign somebody up, immediately hit the training. I use training videos in my organization to where we want you to watch the training videos. The training videos are very good, and then we polish them in person, right?
Exactly.
So it's the finished work comes in person, but we don't want to keep telling you the basic fundamental stuff and wasting valuable time for both us and the rep when they could have done that on their own time, right? Am I right?
1,000% agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, I find that really valuable. I'll tell you what, the thing that is really piqued my interest from what you're saying is the commission tool.
Yep.
Right? I think a lot of people that own businesses were probably a really good door knocker, but they don't know the back end stuff. And I think the reality sets in when you're not a small company, but you're not a massive corporation. It's that in between when it's like, I don't want to pay someone to do my payroll necessarily, but I don't like doing it myself. Talk a little bit about that, because I think that's really that could be worth in and of. If we're talking about one thing, that could be worth it in and of itself. My opinion, having been through that.
Absolutely. So software is a powerful thing because it can automate certain tasks or it can eliminate tasks that you need to do, right? Which is going to end up saving you costs in having to pay somebody on the U.S. side to do that when they can do something else that's more high income producing activities, right? So instead of having to do more admin stuff, if you can take them off admin stuff and then all of a sudden put them to income producing activities, that's going to help increase your top line revenue.
Of course.
So one of my favorite parts is our commission software that's built in. So the interesting thing is, as a project moves through a stage or a milestone, it will trigger automatically commissions to be reviewed. So if it's in solar or for roofing.
Interesting.
So as the project manager or a person that's moving that project forward, as it hits a stage where it's supposed to be an M1 payment, which is a milestone 1 payment, or however a company is set up, it can trigger that first payment to be reviewed. Once it's reviewed, it's approved, right? So it's not automatically done, but one thing it'll do is it'll have all of however somebody wants to have this set up. It could be a red line model, it could be a percentage of deal, it could be a setter closer model, it could be also done through formulas. We have people that pay on sits, so it could be a sit pay plus a commission on the back end. We've seen a lot of different people come to us, at this point now, we pretty much just built out everything that a person's going to come with us asking for. And then on top of it, we have the ability to pay within the software as well. So not only will it calculate it, but the admin or the person that's handling this part in the business can click a button and actually fire off the income or fire off the payment to the individual.
Wow.
And then fire off a statement as well that gives them a breakdown of what they were paid on.
Wow, that's phenomenal. So you're telling me...
and just for clarity as well, that's on the SunBase side, not on the KnockBase side.
Got it, but right? It integrates.
But they integrate hand in hand.
Right, okay,
Absolutely.
No, thanks for the clarification. But so you're telling me I could have 3 different sales reps. One is on one type of pay scale, the other one's on a different type of pay scale, or maybe different commission schedule. Maybe it's tiered up, and you can calculate all of that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of flexibility in this. So a lot of times people will have what it is that they do, and it fits the mold of what we already have. I'm always going to say, though, just if you are a business that has a really complex pay scale, it's always simplicity beats complexity any day of the week. Regardless, even if you have a software that's going to help automate it, it's still confusing to help run your business that way. So, I always say if you can dumb it down, make it very easy to understand. Also, one thing that I do love about this is it will automate overrides.
Wow.
So if you have teams that I'm a mentor to an individual that I'm coaching, I can get an override off that sale, and I'm going to talk in solar here for a minute, but you'll get the idea whether it's another industry, if there's different products.
Sure.
But you can say, if it's a loan, I make X override. If it's a lease, I make X override. If it's a cash deal, I make X override. And you can separate those two different things. If it's a deal that comes from paid versus not paid or a lead. So you can separate by lead source as well. So a lead source that comes in automatically gets tagged as a different commission plan than one that's not, right? So there's a lot of flexibility that you can do on the commission side.
What sets KnockBase apart from whatever else you can find in the space? What's the strengths here?
So a few things. Number one, like you brought up, the customization of it. 2, the feel of it, the gamification from end to end from when you're using the platform. Now, some people will say gamification because they have some element to it. What you're going to find when you see the platform is every aspect of the entire brand is built like you're playing Call of Duty, right? And I'm not saying Call of Duty specifically, but as a comparison, that gamey feel, right?
The capture of attention, yeah,
the visuals, all of that aspect, just the UI of it is just absolutely incredible. The specifics on niche, whether it's solar and having that radiance mode, definitely sets it apart because a lot of different tools does not have that. As well as our competition mode. You're able to challenge somebody, and this is outside of, so we have a couple different ways that you can do this. The organization itself can say, we're going to run a competition. This competition can be the entire company competes. It could be team versus team, and you can separate people. It could be one-on-ones. As a rep, I can say I'm going to challenge an individual, put up points, and those points can be redeemable for a certain swag. That other individual would have to accept the competition itself. So individuals within, regardless of the company itself pushing a competition, the individual can challenge people, kind of like if you go, and nowadays if you go on ESPN and you're watching any show or any game, right? How many ads pushes out betting, right? Bet this,
you're right, you're
fantasy draft, fantasy this, right? And people are wagering and they're putting up bets, right? And it doesn't always have to be from the owner throwing a competition out. It can be from performers that are getting rewarded from their production that are totaling points within, getting rewarded for closing deals, and they can wager those points against each other, and then now all of a sudden they're just competing, and you can do I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of Throwdown Thursdays. You know,
sounds awesome. I haven't heard of it, but I'm in.
So
what are we doing?
So yeah, offices sometimes would do Throwdown Thursdays where people would come into the office and challenge each other, and that would be like a Throwdown Thursday, right? And they would go head to head on that day, and every day of the week there would be that.
So
right?
Taco Tuesday, Throwdown Thursday. Is that where we're at? Okay. I like them both. We're in. We're doing it.
I love it.
That's great. So this is one of my favorite questions to ask. I want you to pull out your crystal ball.
Yep.
And I want you to tell me what 2024 looks like for KnockBase.
We have a full roadmap ahead. You know, we're here at Door-to-Door Con, and we purposely held back certain things that we're going to be rolling out at SolarCon. And we got a bunch of stuff that I'm told not to talk about, and we're gonna throw some surprises
just
out
between us.
Yeah.
Us and the phone.
One thing I will say though is we are migrating a lot of our technology and functionality that we have from Sunbase, some of which is in desktop, into the app of KnockBase and the gamification. So long term, we're going to be building out a lot of different stuff, but we have some stuff that is going to come out soon, and but even regardless of that stuff coming out soon, just the response that we get when people are coming by our booth and checking us out and going through a full demo, regardless as it is now, I mean, put it up head to head against anything.
Awesome.
That's
super
you'll get
excited. Excellent. So last question to wrap it up.
Sure.
Who's winning this weekend?
Who's winning this weekend? Are you talking
we're talking
football?
We're talking football.
Man, it's hard to bet against Patty Mahomes.
Okay.
I'm not a gambler and I don't bet, but we had a friendly little bet with me and my brother and Josh Allen versus, and I was like, Josh Allen, and he was like, man, don't bet against that guy, even though the team's not good enough. But I am thinking Baltimore. I think Lamar this year is going to do it.
So I've asked a lot of people here. Yeah. And that has been the consensus. So we'll see what happens, right?
I hope he gets one. I'm just rooting for the guy.
So here we are, Door-to-Door Con 7, 2024, Lance Vernon, KnockBase. Lance, how do we get in touch with you? How do we book a demo?
So I recommend, I'm mostly on Instagram. You can find me at the Lance Vernon or the Lance Vernon. You'll find me, shoot me a DM. You can book directly from our website. You can come to Sunbase. What I would say is check out Sunbase, the entire platform. You can book a demo directly from our website, sunbasedata.com. We own KnockBase. It's a part of the same umbrella. And then you can be able to see KnockBase, but then also see maybe a little extra, and go from there.
Okay, perfect. Fantastic. Love having you on. We're looking forward to seeing the future of KnockBase, and much success in 2024.
Awesome. Thank you.